This is where it gets really exciting and where we're looking ahead over the next 5 to 10 years. So, how are networks evolving? Where should we be deploying capital, and how do we generate returns in the future? Well, I'll give you a secret. What looks like foresight in retrospect is actually just listening to our customers. They consider us their partner, and they trust us to build these networks for them. So the easiest place to start in thinking about edge computing and where network architecture is going is to have a dialogue and a long-standing relationship with our customers. And this has always led us to the right place. The essential nature of fiber that informed our investment in Zayo is proof of that. We could see the growing need emerging at our customers. Fiber to the tower, fiber to small cells, fiber to nodes, fiber to the edge, fiber to the enterprise. Speaking of the edge, you'll hear from the team about an innovative joint venture that we've launched with our partner, Liberty Global, focused on edge infrastructure. We think this will emerge as its own subsector within digital infrastructure. I've been saying for the last year that we believe data is gravitating towards the edge, living closer to consumers and enterprises. We hear it from our customers, and they want this access. All of this at the end of the day is converged networks. In edge data centers, in RAN access networks, CRAN, Open RAN hubs, this is where that activity happens, where you can bring applications and mobile connectivity together. This is very exciting. To talk more about these trends and the investments we're making to take advantage of these opportunities, I'm going to hand it over to my partner, John Mock, who you've already met, and Warren Roll, another one of our partners here at DigitalBridge.
Thank you, Mark. I'm here again this time with my partner and Managing Director, Warren Roll, who leads our global fiber and small cell strategy. Warren?
Thanks, John. We're here to introduce you to some of the companies we've invested in that are building digital infrastructure closer to the end user, whether that's a consumer or an enterprise. As Mark discussed, the next generation edge networks are at the forefront of the need to reduce latency and take the user experience to the next level.
That's right. Here, it's all about speed. How do we take a network latency from 10 milliseconds down to 1 or 2 milliseconds? If you think about an AI system that recognizes a worker stepping into a dangerous environment, or if you look in the future and think about self-driving cars, speed matters. And that's where our portfolio companies are putting in place the networks to enable the next generation.
We've been investing in these types of companies and networks for a while. The first company we'll introduce you to, Extenet Systems, is the largest private small cell owner and operator in the US, with over 30,000 outdoor and indoor nodes, serving 89 markets across the US. We originally invested in Extenet in 2015, 6 years ago, and we recently facilitated a follow-on investment of over $280 million to fund its future growth. Let me introduce you to Jim Hyde, the CEO of Extenet, to talk a bit about outdoor small cells.
Well, thanks, Warren, and hello, everybody. It's really a pleasure to be here with you all today. As Warren said, I'm the president and CEO of Extenet Systems. Extenet is the largest owner and operator of indoor and outdoor DAS and small cell networks in the United States. To put a finer point on that, we've delivered indoor network solutions in over 300 iconic venues across the U.S. Places like Cowboy Stadium, Barclays Center, Madison Square Garden, the Empire State Building, those are all of our networks. Additionally, we're the largest privately held outdoor small cell provider in the U.S. We've deployed or have in construction over 32,000 outdoor small cell nodes, second only to Crown Castle here in the U.S. We serve primarily the large mobile network operators, real estate owners and operators, and very large enterprises. You know, I came to join the DigitalBridge family just about 3 years ago when Mark Ganzi and I, through mutual friends and acquaintances, really got to know each other better. In fact, I spent 20 plus years on the other side of the table being as a customer. I ran wireless carriers both here and in Europe for over 20 years. And as I really started to get to know Mark better, it became clear that we shared a vision around where converged communications infrastructure was going. And it's really centered around what I call the 4 C's, which is coverage, capacity, connectivity, and compute. When you wrap all of that up, you really start to think about what everybody refers to as IoT. That's everything connected to everything, right? Well, the enabler of the Internet of Things is what I call the real IoT. And the real IoT is the infrastructure of things. And that's what we do. That's what the portfolio of companies that cover fiber, towers, small cells, and data centers, that's what we deliver to our shared customers. You know, the experience with DigitalBridge and the opportunity to work together with the other portfolio companies to deliver a truly converged solution to our shared customers is what really differentiates us from the rest of the pack, right? We can really bring the whole enchilada at the end of the day to mobile network operators, to large real estate owners and operators, and to very large enterprises everywhere. I'm very excited about the growth that we're going to experience together, the value that we're going to create. We're going to ride this 5G wave right to the next level. With that, I'll turn it over to John Maup. Thanks once again, everybody, for your time today.
Thanks, Jim. You know, Warren, another area that's crucial for achieving the performance we're talking about is the availability of fiber, and lots of it, to small cells, to cell sites, and to data centers. Our $14 billion take private last year of Zayo Networks was in many ways predicated on our thesis that fiber, the connective tissue binding all digital infrastructure, will play an increasingly important role in the evolution of the topology.
That's right, John. It's been over a year since we closed that transaction, and it's already proving to be a cornerstone of our strategy. Zayo serves a growing global market with over 130,000 route miles of fiber. This is our largest investment in the portfolio and the largest privately owned fiber network in North America. I'm also excited that we've partnered with Steve Smith to be the CEO. He's the former CEO of Equinix. During Steve's 10 years at Equinix, he grew revenues tenfold and equity value 17 times. It's a testament to both DigitalBridge and the size of the global fiber opportunity that Steve agreed to join Zayo and elevate the company into the next stage of growth. With that intro, I'd like to hand it over to Steve to give us some insight into the opportunities he sees ahead for Zayo and some of his early impressions since joining the company.
Thanks, Warren. Good to see everybody. I'm excited to be here to represent Zayo today. Since joining in late October of 2020, so I'm in my 7th month now, and really enjoying the opportunity and excited about the future here. Many of you know that I spent a little over a decade running an adjacent company called Equinix that we grew into a global leader. And there's a lot of similarities here that I'm seeing as it was actually part of my decision to come here. So there's a great opportunity to work closely with DigitalBridge to transition this company into a leader worldwide where it's been in the past. And I'm super excited about that opportunity, particularly since the world is going through this level of digital transformation. Pretty much every company in the world has got that as a top 3 agenda item. When I evaluated the opportunity to assess this, I asked myself a couple of questions. One was, is there category power still in this business model? And is there company power with Zayo? From a category standpoint, I knew that fiber was critical to the evolving digital ecosystem in the infrastructure space, no question. And I also knew that it was largely insulated from any technology advancements. Very few businesses have the ability to not worry about getting disrupted. And this company has a great position in terms of there's really nothing out there that's positioned to disrupt fiber in the industry. So as you think about the big macro and the secular trends, 5G, the next wave of cloud, the Internet of Things, autonomous vehicles, more compute, storage, and networking moving to the edge, all of this requires more connectivity and more network density. So I knew that the category was powerful. From a company standpoint, I really wanted to dig in and understand. Historically, I knew there was a competitive edge from the roll-up of all the acquisitions here, but I really wanted to understand, did our density in the metros, did our long-haul route uniqueness still hold in terms of competitive differentiation in the industry? And I did learn very quickly that across North America, Western Europe, and Canada, we still had a very, very strong position. So from my perspective, we're off to a great start here, taking Zayo to the next chapter, evolving the business, improving the market sales and operational readiness of this company for the next decade. Now, our core business includes our focus on diverse lit and dark fiber networks, providing critical connectivity and thousands of data centers, enterprises, fiber to the tower, critical companies, some of the largest companies in the world, in across over 400 markets today. So we're very well positioned to provide that capability. Providing that mission critical capability and that connectivity for these sophisticated companies is at the core of our value proposition. And it's very, very powerful differentiation. When I think about the future, our focus today, as many of you know, has been providing basically what I refer to as big pipes to big customers. And that's been tower backhaul and intercity long haul networks, data center connectivity, et cetera. The next chapter is going to continue pressing our strength and pressing our advantage in those areas. In addition, we're really going to take advantage of our 37,000 lit buildings that we've accumulated through all these acquisitions to get to the customers that are in these buildings, in and around all of this fiber around these buildings. And these will be small, medium, and large customers, and we'll infill around that and increase our network utilization by attacking those customers in and around those fiber demarcs in all these locations across North America and Western Europe. That's a big differentiator as we go forward, and we're going to really double down in that area. This ties in very nicely to the focus that DigitalBridge is taking to push and look for opportunities that are moving compute, storage, and networking further out to the edge. We're going to be perfectly positioned to participate in that. And as the industry progresses to put more compute and networking further out to the tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 markets, DigitalBridge is looking there. We will be looking in parallel. And I think the combination of the two of us will find very interesting opportunities. Plenty of capital is aimed at this space. We're going to be right there along with it. We'll be a major part of the next wave of all of this unfolding. And I'm super excited about the opportunity we have to win in this space. So as we look to extend Platform Zayo around the world, it's super exciting and reassuring to me to know that Mark and Warren and the rest of the team at DigitalBridge is super interested and very focused about this industry in particular. Industry knowledge, industry expertise is a differentiator, and it's great to have them as part of our next phase of growth. The collaboration has been very high with the DigitalBridge portfolio companies, very high with the management team, and Mark has done a terrific job helping us get ready for the next chapter here. And the last thing I would say is having a sponsor like DigitalBridge that understands the critical nature of our business is a huge differentiator in the industry, and we're going to leverage that. So thank you again for the time today. I hope you have a great rest of the meeting today. And with that, I'll turn it over to John.
Thanks, Steve. We're looking forward to seeing how Steve leverages his experience to further Zayo's plan. Now that we've talked about some of the active investments we've made in the past few years, designed to position our portfolio for the future, let's talk about what we're doing today to address the opportunities we see over the next 5 years.
Yes, these are fresh off the press. The first investment we want to cover is Boingo, a deal we closed earlier this month. Like Zayo, it's a take private, and a company we think was misunderstood by the public markets, where a quarter-to-quarter focus can sometimes get in the way of doing the right thing from a longer-term perspective. At the heart of Boingo are relationships and experience building wireless networks that we believe will become increasingly central to the fabric of future networks. Let me talk to you a little bit about why we made this very unique investment. We love what Boingo has accomplished over the last decade, transforming into a dominant indoor mobile network neutral host provider. For nearly 20 years, Boingo has built wireless networks that reach over 1 billion consumers annually, operating nearly 100 indoor distributed antenna systems, or DAS networks. With over 40,000 DAS nodes, Boingo is the largest operator of indoor DAS and commercial Wi-Fi networks in the world. With a business strategy built around acquiring long-term wireless rights at large venues, building high-quality wireless networks at those venues, and monetizing those wireless networks by signing long-term agreements with AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, and hopefully Dish in the coming years. We followed Boingo for years as it successfully diversified its revenue base from legacy retail Wi-Fi into wireless DAS and offload, and we've been waiting for the right entry point. This was a very complicated deal that required a tremendous amount of industry and technical knowledge that we built in-house with our deep bench of partners. Our collective DAS experience, combined with our take-private expertise, were vital ingredients that led to our successful acquisition at an attractive valuation. DigitalBridge is unique in our ability to drive alpha in our investments, unlike any other sponsor, through active participation and involvement that augments our management teams. We acquired Boingo to capitalize on the next wave of indoor 5G growth and are sponsoring the leading management team in the industry, led by Mike Finley and Peter Hovenier. Our thesis to create alpha includes our collective network. We will leverage our long-standing relationships with the carriers and commercial venues to help Boingo expand its pipeline and drive growth. Also, with the CBRS auction now complete and Wi-Fi 6 on its way, we will work closely with the management team and our network to build enterprise private networks, as this will be the next big wave of indoor growth. Our strategic M&A capabilities will come into play here. We believe the indoor wireless infrastructure landscape remains fragmented, and Boingo is a terrific platform that we can help scale. Lastly, Boingo is an incredible complement to the DigitalBridge family. As we continue to build 5G networks with our customers, Boingo will gain access to some of the best companies and management teams in the industry. That means better solutions as we see continued convergence with fiber, small cells, and edge compute. Boingo will be able to collaborate more effectively with Zayo, Vertical Bridge, DataBank, and Extenet. We're very excited about our investment in Boingo and the growth we see ahead for indoor DAS and Wi-Fi infrastructure.
Thanks, Warren. Great overview of the company and the opportunity. The last company we'll discuss today is another very recent fund investment, Atlas Edge Data Centers. You may have seen our joint venture announcement last month in partnership with Liberty Global. Atlas Edge is an innovative edge infrastructure platform that we're building to serve the growing European demand for scalable data center infrastructure that brings application and content closer to the edge, as you just described. It's a company that leverages Liberty's global existing infrastructure footprint, unlocking value for them and turning this into a platform for growth. One of our colleagues in London, who helped lead the transaction, Mandri Gavada, will tell you more about it. Mandri?
Thanks, John. Hi, everyone. I'm Mandri Gavada. I'm a principal in our London office. I'm really happy to be here today to talk to you about Atlas Edge, a new edge data center platform that we recently launched in partnership with Liberty Global. We're really excited about this platform because we think that it's really built for the future of edge infrastructure and edge demand. What that looks like is it's even closer to the end user, it's highly interconnected, and it's built for speed. As we think about the future for demand and how that's going to be driven, really at the intersection of apps and mobility, we think this platform is really poised to take advantage of that. What's exciting about this platform, though, is that it's actually built on an existing base. From its launch, it'll have over 100 edge sites across the UK, Switzerland, Ireland, and Poland. And this is because of our partnership with Liberty Global, who are unlocking value on their balance sheet and contributing their assets. But as we see it, this is just the beginning. We're building Atlas Edge to be a pan-European platform that really extends the fabric of connectivity across the continent. So what differentiates Atlas Edge? First and foremost, it's scale. Atlas Edge is really unique, and there are no other platforms like it on the market right now. What that means and what we believe is that it's not just going to be helping meet customer demands in the near term, but actually help shape customer demand over time as we reduce the overall latency to their end customers. Second, the long-term anchor revenue base. This platform is unique in that it's going to have a stable cash flow base right out of the box because of the long-term 10-year plus anchor contracts that are going to be in place. And what we think that does is actually really sets the business up for scale and success as the edge demand materializes over time. And then third, the shareholder base. We think this is $1 billion plus opportunity, and with Liberty's unique carrier relationships and DigitalBridge's operating expertise, this business is going to be really set up for success. So on that DigitalBridge piece in particular, first, we think of this transaction as not just a proprietary deal, but really a proprietary idea. We've been working closely with Liberty Global over the last 6 months to build the business plan from scratch. So it's been designed with scale and growth in mind. Second, Josh Joshi, who will be joining us as executive chairman and is a DigitalBridge operating partner. Josh was the CFO of Interaction, which was sold to Digital Realty recently for over $8 billion. Josh knows the data center platform and the data center market in Europe like few other executives do. And that we're working together with him to build the management team is really exciting to us. And then lastly, the DigitalBridge M&A playbook. We've got a really unique list of opportunities and tuck-in M&A that we've lined up for this platform. As we think about the value add that this can bring in not just acquiring additional businesses, but actually integrating them into the business, we think this is going to be so critical to the future growth of this platform as we think about the pan-European footprint that we want to build across the UK and Europe. So with that, I'll close. But as you can see, we're really thrilled about this platform and really value our partnership with Liberty Global as we're launching this platform. Atlas Edge has a great team and a great strategy, and it's really going to be designed to meet the demands of the networks of the future. And we can't wait to take you along on the ride with us.